So today I'm going to talk about when I lived in the Falkland Islands, a time when I got to live around wildlife such as this, and also got to witness landscapes like this, and had to take on a job doing this.
Hello and welcome to Falklands in Focus with me, Jake.
And where I also made mistakes like this.
Go show it, boy.
I don't think we should show Steve this footage. I don't know if he'd be too impressed with his lack of helmet.
So join me today for my full story on my journey living in the Falklands. Oi, pessoas, como vai você? So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Usually I talk about my progress learning Portuguese. Usually I talk a little bit about Brazil. But today I'm going to talk about a little bit about myself and a story of mine, because it's the right time to do it, because it's around 5 years ago to like this day that this adventure happened to me, and I want to share it. I just think it's a nice kind of interesting story. Every time that it comes up in conversation with people, they always seem to be quite interested in this story. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. It's going to be an interesting one because it's kind of like my life changed in such a short space of time, within like 4 weeks. I think that it will be a good topic to talk about. So first of all, before I start, I just want to say thank you for everyone who's been watching my videos and who's been following me on Instagram. I've been overwhelmed with the support and all the people that's followed me and watching my videos. If this is your first time watching me on YouTube, then please do subscribe to my channel, Falo com Jake. The subscribe button is down there somewhere. And also follow my journey on Instagram. I do day-to-day updates on there, and I post a few nice pictures as well. My Instagram name is Falo com Jake. It should be up in one of the corners, coming up anytime now. Well, I just want to say, through telling this story, I hope to inspire some people. I don't want this video to be, self-indulgent and just me talking about myself. I like to think that by sharing my story that some people could either gain some knowledge or maybe some inspiration to do something like what I did. The job that took me on this adventure is available to all citizens from around the world. So it could be something that you could apply for yourself if it's something you're interested in. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of background about myself. In 2012, I completed a degree for film and TV production. And after I completed that degree, I obviously was applying for jobs related to the degree in film and TV industry. Meanwhile, while looking for jobs in the film and TV industry, I took a job at a supermarket working night shifts. I think that working night times, it had an effect on me mentally because it caused me to I didn't have a social life because I was always sleeping during the day. Working in a job that I didn't particularly like, while applying for jobs and getting a lot of rejections and becoming very close to getting jobs that I wanted but always failing at the last hurdle. Doing that for 3 years, I was feeling quite deflated. I was feeling a bit depressed, and I just didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do next. I was thinking when is my opportunity going to come to do something that I really enjoy? I was living in London at the time, and I just had enough. I was tired of everything. I just wanted to get out. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to try and live in another country. I wanted to experience something different, a different lifestyle, a different culture. And that's when I found a job in the Falkland Islands. And the job was advertised as a broadcast journalist. I would have to move to the islands, live there for a minimum of 6 months. They would pay for the flights and arrange the accommodation. My job would be to film stories out on the island and edit them into into a news story which would broadcast across the islands. I didn't know too much about the country. I knew about the history of the Falkland Islands, but as a culture I didn't know much about it. So I did a bit of research, and I realised that it had a population of 3,000 people, 9,000 miles away from the UK. But something about this job just stood out to me, and I was like, I want to go, I want to apply for it. So that's what I did. I applied for it, and I got an interview. I got an interview that I did on Skype, and I thought it went well, but I didn't hear anything back from them, no reply to whether I got the job or not. So I sent them an email, and they told me that they found someone with a little bit more experience. They were actually hiring 3 people at a time, and there was 3 spaces. Unfortunately, I didn't get a space. About 4 weeks later, when I thought the opportunity was over, it was like late in the evening, and I got a phone call from a weird number. I was like, who's this? And it was the managing director of the company, and he said, are you still living in London? Are you still interested in the job? I was like, yes to both. Would you be interested in coming to join us in 4 weeks' time? I said yes straight away. I was like, I didn't hesitate, because I just thought, I really want this opportunity. Like, it's my escape, my way out the supermarket. Like, so many times that when I was working in that supermarket, I went for job interviews during the day and went to work after the job interviews. And I used to work through a shift hoping that I would get a job, like I'd finally leave this supermarket job. And then to go home the next day, go to sleep and wake up to see a rejection was very hard. So when given the opportunity for a job and asking me if I could fly to the country and move to the country in 4 weeks, I just said yes. I had to go. So I had to agree a minimum of 6 months. By signing the contract, you were saying that you would agree to be there for a minimum of 6 months. If you wanted to leave any earlier, you would have to pay for your own flights back. And the Falkland Islands is not a country that you can just kind of leave the next day. You have to book probably 2 weeks in advance, and it's a long journey. So yeah, 4 weeks. I left my job in 2 weeks, and I had 2 weeks to prepare, which was, by preparing, it was buying a whole new bunch of clothes, because the weather was completely different to England. It was gonna be cold, freezing cold, very windy, and I was going to be outdoors a lot, so I had to buy a lot more clothes to prepare myself. So when I arrived in the Falklands, the weather was grey, windy, and it looked quite, the area, the land looked quite barren. There was just a lot of space, and I kind of thought, wow, this is different. Falkland Islands has a population of 3,000 people. The town Stanley, which is the capital, is populated with around 2,500, and the other 500 are kind of spread around across the island in little small settlements, typically of 20 to 30 people. And then you have loads of little small islands surrounding it, which are usually owned by farmers or families, and they're either open for tourists, and they also operate as owning sheep, cows for beef and lamb, and also for selling the wool. And that's one of the main industries, is the wool. And also the fishing industry is very big in the Falkland Islands. They have a lot of ships coming in from Europe and from Asia for the squid and the toothfish, Patagonia toothfish. The Falkland Islanders all speak English. They all grow up speaking English. They don't speak Spanish. There's a small Chilean population there. There's a small Filipino population there. And there's also a small St. Helena population. St. Helena is an island situated between South America and Africa. So yeah, it's quite a unique culture, really. A lot of the guys are kind of farm inspired. They usually grow up in agriculture. Sheep shearing is a sport over there. They are very much similar to British people. Obviously they have a big British influence. However, they're certainly Falkland Islanders, and they are different in their own unique way. They have quite a unique accent. It's kind of similar to like a New Zealand accent, actually, and a kind of like a farmer accent. So within 2 days of arriving, I started my first day at work, and my first task was to make a video about myself. And this video was going to be broadcasted on the news for the news channel that I was working for. It was going to be broadcasted across the island. It was quite scary thinking that 70% of the island is going to see me on TV within 1 week. And they're going to know, like, not everything about me, but they're going to know me. So I'm going to show you guys this video because it'd be good to take a quick look at. Hi, I'm Jake. I'm the newest member to the FITV team. Been here for about 5 days now. I'm really enjoying it. I'm from Bristol originally. Been living in London for the past 6 years, and yeah, I came to the Falklands for a change of lifestyle, to explore the wildlife and the vast scenery. One of my passions is wildlife, and one of the main reasons I came here is to explore it, particularly dolphins. I have a huge passion for dolphins, and yeah, I've been driving around now and just enjoying the scenery. We're going to head down to the beach and get a few lovely shots of me walking around there to put in this video, which is going to look fantastic.
You like grapes?
Yeah, I do love grapes, and you're going to see that later on. I'm going to attempt a record which I'm going to set for previous interns and new interns for the future. When you watch this video, you have to beat my record of grape eating. I have a record of 25, I think, but the grapes were a lot smaller. And as you can see, these are significantly larger, so I mean, I'll be happy if I could do 15, to be honest.
I hear you have a fondness for birds.
Birds? Yeah, goose or geese. We're debating on what you actually call them. The upland goose or upland geese. The turkey vulture. Yeah, the turkey vulture. Penguins, of course, classic bird. Yeah, there's a turkey vulture right there. I'm also very fond of this habit that we have in the Falklands of waving. Just I like that. I could get used to that. So just before I start the great thing, so what I was talking about was when I arrived in the islands and I went out for my drive, my first drive, everyone was waving at me. And I was like, did people know me already? I know it's a small island, but no, it's just that in the Falklands, like, yes, everyone knows each other. So you just wave at everyone. Like if you're driving, you put your hand up to wave. Anyway, let's have a look at the grape challenge. I'm gonna attempt this grape challenge, which I've done before. I managed 25 grapes before, but I have to say that these grapes are definitely bigger than the previous ones I had. So I'm gonna try 15. I'm gonna try 15. But they got pips in as well. That one. These are big now. These are very big. I've only got 2 of them. I was capable of 8 grapes, which is quite a poor attempt. So yeah, that broadcasted across the island, and I had a few people talk to me about the grape challenge, which was strange. So guys, I'm going to do 2 parts to this video, and I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to continue the story next week and tell you guys more about my journey in the Falkland Islands. I hope you enjoyed it so far. If you do have any questions, put them in the comments. I will be happy to answer. Follow me on Instagram, it's Jake, and if you like my channel, then please do subscribe. The subscribe link is down there somewhere. But until then guys, I will see you next time when I finish my story about the Falkland Islands.